About marriage, you've spoken about addiction and intimacy. Here you're speaking about the key is to transform the abundance. The mystics explain that our search for a soulmate is coming from something deeper that is connected to a search for God. So my question to you is, well, why get married? Why do you have to? Why is the model of celibacy and marrying God, marrying the realm of the spirit, not a Jewish one?
Well, just for the record, you know how celibacy came into being?
No, it's always puzzled me enormously.
Yeah, so
I mean, financial. I imagine that it's a financial.
It's a real estate
yeah.
thing. I think in the 8th or 9th century, up to that point, everybody was marrying. But the children of the priests were demanding their rights into the buildings of the churches and all the real estate that they were accumulating. So it became practical to just simply, I just found that to be very amazing. Instead of making a rule that children just don't inherit the thing, they just said celibacy, and then they found some, I'm not here, I'm not here to criticize, we're not here to criticize other religions and so on. But it's just an interesting thing. More importantly is, look, in mystical teachings from the Far East to the East to the West, Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and so on, there's been a raging debate from almost the beginning of time of how you ultimately reconcile body and soul, the two polar opposites. Where one extreme, I'm not going to sum it all up here, but let's just go extremes. One extreme is the goal is to reach the world of spirit, the world of light. And either materialism is an illusion or a distraction, or some way it has to be dispelled, and then you connect to that higher force. The other extreme, which really evolved over time, was that in some way you have to build some type of godly relationship within your material world. A classic example of that is the Protestant work ethic, an outgrowth of Calvinism, which is that within work, you work virtuously, you're charitable, compassionate, you find God there, which is like essentially more of a God within the material world. Basically, do the best you can. And then there are many in-betweens. And Judaism itself in its own way has this debate. There's the debate whether the ultimate reward for a person's work in this life, a good life, is it spiritual reward? Is the ultimate reward? Maimonides says that. Or is it a reward of the body and soul together, forever, which is Nachmanides' view and becomes the classic view of all the Kabbalists and mystics and is the final view. But there are the two positions, just to emphasize, because some understood spirituality as being superior to the material. But to bring it back to our discussion, we live in a material world. God created this world. We didn't create it. We may have created excess. We may become seduced by it, addicted to it, distracted. But the existence of the material world is not our creation. So you either have to say that God created it as a test for you to not engage it. To
transcend and renounce.
Right? Asceticism.
Renounce it.
Right? Renouncing it. Or it's to be transformed. So there are within Judaism some opinions, but the bottom line is that the end result is no question that the material world was not just created as something to renounce or to separate from. When the scouts wanted to choose that path, the scouts Moses sent to Israel, they wanted to remain in the spiritual environment of the wilderness where they were protected and not have to deal with day-to-day challenges of Wall Street, basically, of their time. That was considered a grave sin because God said, I sent you to this earth. So yes, we have the expression, al karcha chatachai, you're compelled to live in this world. And there are opinions that it's a more pleasant life to live in heaven than on earth. Earth has a lot of challenges. All the paths are filled with danger. It's a dangerous world. It's a world of fear. It's a world of so many problems. Yet, so it says, it may be more pleasant up in heaven, but this is more purposeful. This is what I want. And there's the classic statement in Jewish thought, the ultimate purpose of existence is God's desire for us to transform the material world into a divine home. Without getting into the whole beauty of power that we have in doing so, but the bottom line is that, yes, to marry God is very sweet and nice, and maybe in early years of your life that's where it has to be, but God wants you to go into a marriage with its challenges, find love there. You're meeting a stranger. A relationship is always going to be work. There's great benefits from it and great beauty. But that's what I want. Build a home in this world. Bring children into the world. It's going to be expensive. They're going to be sar gidl banim. We all have our challenges with our children. But this is where you will build a home for me. And as challenging as it is, it's the most gratifying type of experience.